doing?
Yeah.
Look at
Good
that,
job,
man.
buddy.
Hey, Will, all I know is I missed them jerky Q wins.
Oh, we already talking about it.
Yeah.
He gonna tease us too, talking about I started to bring y'all something.
Hey, man, I changed my mind. I don't have the recipe.
Oh, man, I'm telling
I had
you.
buffalo barbecue. It was good.
He got all the secret ingredients for the secret main event sauce. But one day they shall return.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about
One
that.
day.
I'll call Scott. He's not going to divulge, but I'll give it a try.
There it is.
There you go, try to make it happen.
Right, just for you guys. Though.
But now we have a big show today, man. We're going to talk about some Olympics action, what's going on, some controversy. We're going to recap the Super Bowl, one of the best ones yet. Actually, best ones in a long time, so it's always good to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about what's going on with your University of Louisville Fighting Cardinals, the beak with teeth. Well, maybe not teeth anymore, more like dentures.
Toothless. Yeah. Toothless wonders.
Yes, the Toothless Wonders. We'll talk about them and so much more. But let's jump right into it. Let's recap the Super Bowl. Fellas, what did you think?
I thought it was definitely a very entertaining game. And this is not in reference to the halftime show. The game itself was very entertaining. It was a very watchable game. No matter who you were rooting for, you were glued to the TV every play. I mean, that game, it gave you everything that you wanted. Regardless of the outcome and who you were hoping it would win, that game gave you everything you wanted, man.
Now, you made it to that. You went to Cincinnati and watched the game. She was like right there in the thick of things.
Yes.
And the heat. So how was it?
It was nice,
being in
man.
Queen City when they got up.
Yesterday, me and my wife and the children, we made our way up to Cincinnati.
You took your kids. That's bold.
Yes,
Yeah.
we went down to
Teach his kids
Freedom
how to
Way, which is the strip that runs between the Red Stadium and Paul Brown Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Great American Ballpark and Paul
Great
Brown
area.
Stadium.
It's a great
and they
area.
they had screens on both ends. One screen on the Great American Ballpark with the audio set up, and then out at the other end, down not quite all the way to Paul Brown Stadium, they had another setup, and all the bars and restaurants down there kind of had an open face that day. They had their windows and things up. It was freezing cold, but at the same time, the atmosphere was insane, man. It was a party, literally a party in the streets. And we hung out there. We were not able to get into any of the restaurants that were down on that strip, so we made our way to a Buffalo Wild Wings right across the bridge.
Sound like an El DeVarge video.
Yeah, right. So, and we enjoyed the game. They had one table left for us as soon as we walked in, and it was packed from wall to wall in there. And we took the game in, had a great time. And our plan was to, once Cincinnati won, we were going to go back across the bridge and watch people burning couches and turning cars over and so on and so forth. But that part didn't quite make its way. The image that sticks in our head when we went back across the bridge going past Fountain Square, which Fountain Square was set up for the whole thing. They had live performers all day, pyrotechnics, the whole nine, face painting. The ice skating ring is still there from the winter season.
Man.
There was a wavy, one of those things that waves his hands. Yeah. And there was a Bengals. And
Noodle
he was
man,
kind of
the
like
noodle man.
drooped up. I mean, you could tell they lost the game just by he was just waving his hands. It looked so sad. I was like, okay, we're going to go ahead and get on the interstate and go home, So, but no, we had a real good time, man. Real good time. Cincinnati's always a ball regardless, so.
But energy was there. I bet when they came back, it was just crazy.
Oh, yeah, when the team returned home,
yeah.
They said that the people greeted them, hundreds of people greeted them. And they still had a celebration at Paul Brown Stadium yesterday in honor of the team, which I think was very, a telltale sign of the city truly showing their support for the team. So I think they did it right, man. They did it right, so.
Yeah, I was big. I wanted to see Cincinnati get it done. I've never been a Cincinnati Bengals fan, but, them being one of the long-suffering fan bases, one of those teams that I remember when they made it to the Super Bowl the last time and took on Joe Montana, and how excited everybody was to get there and then to watch Joe just kind of dismantle him. So, I mean, even though I held a little hostility because, Bo Jackson, my squad, the Raiders, he hurt himself in the playoff game against the Bengals.
Cincinnati, yeah.
So, I've always kind of held that against them, but just seeing the excitement in the city and having to be that close.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have it for the fans I just remember how many crappy years watching terrible Bengals games when we couldn't watch anything else on TV because they were the local affiliate.
Right.
To finally have them do something, anytime they've been good, I've been all right with it. When Jeff Blake was there, that they had a nice little team. They've had some squads over the years, Pickens, Slim Pickens, Carl Pickens. I mean,
Usman-Shada.
absolutely, Icky Woods, the Icky Shuffle. So it's always fun to have winners close. So I was hoping they could get it done, fellas, and to get that close, and then to have. I don't want to say the officiating got touchy down the stretch, but the officiating did get touchy down the stretch, and it's unfortunate the way it ended. I don't think it was necessarily stolen from them, but there was a level of physicality that was allowed the whole game until that last end of the fourth.
There was a holding call, a crucial holding call,
The very first call.
absolute blown call.
That was a terrible
100%.
Yeah.
That set LA up to throw it to Cup
Yeah.
for the last touchdown. 100% agree with that.
I mean, it was a tough
But
way to end.
Cincinnati got away with one too.
They
Absolutely.
did.
Yeah,
They
they did.
face mask on the touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
you got. Listen.
But that was early.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It was.
That was
It
early.
was. But
But
they
still.
scored off of that play.
They did.
So and they didn't call it back. It's,
Yeah, I mean, well, that was the thing though. They were letting everything go.
They were.
It was a very physical game the whole time, but it just seemed on that last LA drive.
They were not. They were like, we're gonna keep throwing flags until they score.
That's
what it seemed
It kind of
like.
felt like it kind of felt like that, So that was probably the only part, fellas, that I was just kind of upset with. But it was a great game.
Yeah.
Like Haven said, it was an awesome game.
Cincinnati either got sloppy down the stretch with those penalties. They had that holding call, and then they had that pass interference, which set up the touchdown pass. You're right. They did let it play. I thought this is what I think Cincinnati played 2 great quarters, 1 decent quarter, and then they laid down in the fourth quarter. The defense laid down in
They
the fourth
did.
quarter.
Like they had a lot of times to put that game, a lot of chances to put that game away.
They did, and
they
they
didn't.
squandered a couple of turnovers. That miracle off the hands of the receiver. They should have scored there. They put, I think they scored a field goal.
They got a field goal.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should have put it in the end zone.
Yeah.
I just down the stretch, Cincinnati they'd lost a lot of opportunities, and then in the fourth quarter they just ran out of
Now,
gas.
here's the question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, to me, it all comes down to one thing, and this is something we said beforehand, was what was the Bengals offensive line going to do? And for the first 2.5 quarters, Bengals offensive line was great.
Yeah.
It allowed the Bengals to
Yeah.
come back. They were able to move the ball and score. And the second half, the offensive line was like, yeah, we're good.
The second half,
Aaron Donald was like,
I think it was fatigue.
whatever adjustment that LA made
I think
coming
that-
out of the locker room worked because Aaron Donald was not involved in a lot of plays in the first half. Okay, but you took him and then you had Von Miller on the other side. That's when they really started to kind of pull away.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just wearing him down.
I mean, if you get 7 sacks in the second
Yeah.
half of the game, you're not going to win. I mean, you cannot give up that many sacks and expect to win a football game, especially the Super Bowl. You just can't do it. They got lucky to beat the Titans when they gave up 8 sacks or 9 sacks, excuse me.
Yeah.
But to give up 7 sacks in one half of football, that's inexcusable.
And they were still in a position to win.
They
I
were.
think that's where they lost it, though.
That's
too.
the thing about
Yeah,
it. They were
you
still
know.
in a position to win.
If they just score once, the game is over.
But here's the thing. Somebody asked me this question the other day. Do you think it would have made sense if the Bengals on that fourth down, there at the end of the game, had to kick the field goal? Considering that the new record, 66 yards?
Yeah.
That would have been about the same distance. I mean, okay, here's the thing. What would you have had to lose?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think if they have the Ravens kicker, I think they had the Ravens kicker. I think it's a possibility.
No, I get that.
I don't know if that rookie had that kind of leg.
I don't think he did too, but what were your other options?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
thought it was just a bad play call in that 4th and 1.
I
truthfully, I think
Because the offensive line was is
I can't remember who the receiver that he was throwing to when he got spun around. When
wasn't really
Joe
throwing it
Burrow,
to
he kind of
somebody, he
swung
kinda
it.
like
But
flung
I
it.
feel like the running back gave up on the play. It was Pirine.
Yeah.
He tried to get it to Pirine, and I feel like Pirine saw Joe get slung around and kind of stopped. Where I feel like if he would have kept going or actually made an honest effort, he could have come up with that pass because that ball was a lot closer.
It was closer.
And it was weird because I feel like the television broadcasters really didn't go back and talk about how close that play was. It was almost like, okay, the Rams got to stop, game's over, and they're showing, but they didn't really talk.
It's
It was
time
just
to
weird.
I mean, it was
weird.
the
It was weird.
celebratory moment. Like you
Yeah.
got to move on and get prepared. There's a lot of very little time to do a whole lot between that final play and
Yep.
that stage celebration. So you really don't have time to analyze. You know, it's like game over. All right, let's go to commercial.
It just seemed like NBC really rushed the end of the game. They was like, okay,
The Olympics are coming up next. Let's go.
Yeah. You got to go to that commercial and then come back with a stage on the field.
But you also take the best defensive player in the league, closing it out for LA. I mean, that's the other side of it.
That's
though.
true.
No,
You know?
I agree. It's
The
Bengals,
Triple Crown winner wide receiver
Unbelievable.
scoring the last touchdown. I mean, come on.
listen, there were a lot
for
of
LA. It was great. I mean,
There were a lot of-
I
purple
feel like
bookend.
we're focusing on the Bengals here because we're close. But
No, that's what I was
if
literally
you
about
look
to
at
say.
LA,
There were a lot of players on LA's team that I was cheering for. But as a team, I was cheering for the Bengals, but cheering again. Now, let me ask you all a question. Because it kind of gets to me going into this game. And say, like, even since Brady announced his retirement, people have been riding Joe Burrow like a stallion. And it gets on my nerves. This guy, what has he done to deserve the type of praise that he's been receiving?
see,
And that's been pissing me off, I'm being honest. It's like, okay.
It's his swag. People like his swag. They like the fact that
he's a hero.
Yeah, okay.
He's a hero.
Let's see if he's a hero this time next year. How many times have we seen this when somebody makes it to the Super Bowl or makes it far in the playoffs early in their career, and then 3 years later they're getting traded from team to team every other year?
No, it's fair, and I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that I think they said that the Bengals, a quarterback had never been sacked as much as Burrow did and won a playoff game. So the fact that you had a guy who did something that's never been done, and not only did he do it once, he did it, 3 times and got to the Super Bowl. So it was almost like a Disney movie. It was one of those things where the Bengals weren't supposed to be.
He's making it work.
Playoffs. Who won those games for the Bengals, though? Their kicker. Their kicker won.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna say-
Burrow is the one.
Yeah.
Oh
Burrow's
my
just
God.
the face. Burrow's
Well,
the face.
he's a quarterback.
Right.
He's not
Yeah.
supposed to happen. But
He's
you
the
know
guy.
what?
But they were riding him a little too hard.
And
in my
former
opinion.
national champion.
So-
I mean, was just won the championship 2 years ago.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner.
He comes
Yeah, but what you do in
accolades.
college doesn't.
But here's the thing, Joe
ain't
Burrow
get a good
balled.
graph.
Let's be honest, he balled. When he was there, when he was healthy,
He carried that team.
he balled. The issue is, can he stay healthy behind the offensive line?
Not on that line.
No, he
they
won't.
had him running for his life.
They did. You know what? We'll take a quick break. We come back. Let's analyze that Super Bowl halftime show. Was it actually the greatest halftime show in the history
Look at my face.
of the Super Bowl? Don't pay attention to him. We'll talk
at
about
my
that when we
face.
come back on the Plug Network. Stay plugged in. I'm Hayden Harrington, host of Main Event Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.
How y'all doing? Plug Network. It's Theus. Be sure to peep in on the 26th of this month for the listening session of the Love EP. Break down various things about the song, about the music, and where I was at the time. You interested? Fuck with your boy. One love. Shout out to the plug.
Told you I'm the plug, ho. I'm what it is. Fuck who you think I thought it was.
Welcome back to Main Event Sports Show. This is your host, Hayden Harrington, joined by the full complement. The full power of the main event is here. My man, William Lee. Hey, stay tuned for the end of the show, man. We got a special video of my man here you don't want to miss. I'm telling you, it's fly. It's dope. And I also want to thank all our patrons for going to maineventsports101.com and becoming a patron of the show, keeping us in business, keeping us going for another year. Thank you. We couldn't do it without you. We need more people to sign up to become a patron to keep us going. And also, while on the website, man, sign up for the newsletter. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all the great videos we put out. And let's continue on with this magical topic.
Your hair look like a crooked preacher tonight, bro. I swear.
So anyway,
Just remember, we don't mind the kind that jingles, but we'd rather have the kind that folds.
There it is.
but
Hey, man.
halftime Super Bowl show, man. Everybody on Twitter was like, "This is the greatest halftime Super Bowl show in the history of the Super Bowl." It was awesome.
Absolutely
And
nice.
then they made fun of 50 Cent being fat. Then everybody was like, what happened to his neck?
He looked goofy hanging upside down.
He looked goofy.
Okay, well, what wasn't like the best look?
I didn't understand why he was hanging upside down, and I had to Google it. I never saw that video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never saw it. That's why I was,
Oh, man.
I was like, why is he hanging from the ceiling? That's weird.
It was odd.
It was fine. It
I had
was-
no idea
yeah.
Kendrick Lamar was that short.
I already knew that.
I mean,
Hey, but he went hard.
he did.
He said he.
no, he went hard. But my thing is like, if you know the guy's short, one, why put him in the box? Two, why is his backup dancer as tall than he is?
He's like 5'2".
Well, not everybody's insecure.
Yeah. Jeez.
I mean, put him in a box or something. I mean, he's going to stand up above your backup dancer so people can actually see you.
I didn't even notice, to be honest with you. That didn't catch my attention.
That caught my attention. It's a short guy. That caught my attention. Like, man, what are you doing? You doing that to yourself?
I don't know. You're not sure. How tall are you?
Like 5'7".
That's called average, brother. That's not short.
That's short. Whenever everybody else in your family's like 6'1", 6'2", that's short.
Oh, that's their
Snoop
problem.
Dogg's 6'4".
See, there you go.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, Snoop's
They
talking.
had to put him on the roof. Of course, he was high too. So
That helps.
Nah, greatest show, halftime show ever? Absolutely not. Not even. No.
I mean, I would say maybe top 10.
it was good. I
Calm
mean,
down.
it was good, but
Like the layout on the field didn't even make sense to
Yeah.
me. Like when they showed the area.
I didn't like them being on top of
like.
like giant Winnebago.
Yeah, that
It
was
What
weird.
was that?
That
It
was
was weird.
really
It's
weird.
supposed to be like I think like an L.A. neighborhood.
It's like a
because,
house party in Compton with a bunch of houses. I get it.
I didn't get it.
It was just weird.
It was like
Even like the pattern on the field when they
yeah,
showed the area.
the streets.
But it looked like
Is that
giant
supposed to
circus
be-
yeah,
peanuts
it's like a
or
map.
something.
Yeah,
It
like-
was like crop circles.
Yeah.
What the hell?
They were really trying to push this narrative that Snoop and Dre are from Compton and they came
those,
from
like, really neighborhood
they came
streets
from
and
these
whatnot.
neighborhoods and now they're playing the Super Bowl. Like I get it.
I didn't get it.
I would have just rather had a stage.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
a
yeah.
stage.
it's just easy, man. You're being too complicated. You're being way too complicated.
Yeah.
Is it
color would
weird?
have helped? Like some windows or something would have helped drive it. I didn't get it.
Is it weird that I was praying for Mary J to have a wardrobe malfunction?
Man.
She was thick as
I was
blood.
She
thinking
looks
about
good.
her on
Absolutely.
my way
For
here.
50?
I'm not lying. Should I say that on TV? I was literally thinking about her on the way here.
Man, she was thick as Georgia Ray Clay
But
blood.
I was listening to her new album too, so that
good.
kind of drove the
Yeah, that's
the,
pretty good.
the imagery.
But I mean, it was all right. It was good for what it was. It was good. It was good for what it was.
You know
I'm
the thing that I saw was like I just saw this tweet is the NFL really knows its target audience. Well, I didn't realize that I'm now the NFL target audience,
Yeah, we are.
and it made more sense to me. I was like, oh yeah,
made it.
I'm a 40-year-old man and I'm a consumer now, and it's not when I'm 19. I'm driving around in my Honda Civic listening
go.
to the Chronic 2001. Like I get it now, but
You're old now.
I know, right?
That makes us now. We are the NFL. That's
Great,
That's what the
my
NFL
dude.
Yeah, I
wants.
know.
Jeez, man.
You know, next year's gonna be like MC Hammer. Then after that, probably Poet.
I mean, if Haven was still the demographic, it would have been Earth, Wind, and Fire. So
I'm not that old, man. We'll be Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow.
Even though it would have been a fly show. I'm just saying. Earth, Wind, and Fire would have been a fly
That would
show.
have been a hell of a show.
What was Coolio? Where was Coolio at? Can we bring
Okay,
him
no.
back?
Now let me be honest. Somebody made a hell of a point.
What's that?
They said, "Where was the Nipsey Hussle, Kobe Bryant, and Tupac tribute?" They played it.
Dre played a little bit, but I could have gone for more.
He played. It said California.
No. When he came up on the
Yeah, he
piano,
kinda played the piano.
Yeah,
Dear
okay.
Mama, he
Yeah,
played a little tease of that. But I'm just glad we didn't have a hologram.
yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people thought, that there could
Well,
possibly be like a
Tupac
Tupac
hologram.
Look at that
hologram.
video from Coachella. That was so just like.
And then I don't think
why?
the experience would have been
Right.
right for the
No.
for the I don't know. It would have been kind of.
It
But
wouldn't-
they
it
should have
wouldn't
done
have fit.
something. Now Nipsey Hussle and Kobe Bryant, they missed the ball on that one. So
No, not really.
obviously a day later, Dr. Dre's posing with a Kobe Bryant mural, and was it Nipsey Hussle? I think he was with Kobe Bryant, and then Eminem posed with the Nipsey Hussle mural or something like that. I'm like, dude, y'all kind of missed the boat. Too late.
Man, first of all, like nobody likes Kobe Bryant, so this is
What? In
Hey,
LA?
first of all, hold on, slow down. See, he just did that for my.
Yeah,
I definitely
he did that just to pick with me.
At least LeBron was there.
I mean, he's like the third favorite Lakers, so
At
there's
least
also
LeBron
that.
was there at the
That
Super
guy.
Bowl.
Other person he was Magic.
Yeah. Nah, Kobe Bryant, they should have done something with that. How they could have missed that kind of shocks me.
Yeah,
That-
I,
that
no,
kinda
I agree
shocks
with
me.
that.
First of all, there's only so much blackness that the NFL will let you get away with. And he probably went over
That
with black.
one should have been like one of they snuck in like the Eminem kneel, like
Yeah.
a t-shirt or something.
But
Like,
hey, I'm
know
telling
what?
all the black folks now, enjoy it, because we won't get another one for 5 years. They give the black folks a show every 5 years.
about that.
So we appreciate that.
So,
but a lot of these other artists are trending towards blackness anyway. So
You'll be like Miley Cyrus next year.
Yeah.
She'll be up there.
Oh God, I can only hope. I can only hope.
You know, with her black boyfriend.
She'll bring out Dolly Parton. Think about it. It'd be awesome. Dolly will give Mexican pizzas to everybody in the crowd. It'd be great.
let's try that. See how it goes.
That would be
But
hilarious.
no, please chime in the comments. Let us know what you think about the halftime show.
What
What you
was the
think your
greatest-
favorite halftime show was? What was the best halftime show of all time?
I know what my favorite halftime show of all time is.
Somebody told me James Brown performed at the halftime one year.
He probably did.
I mean, is that true? Because
That would
people
be
said it
wild.
was that Bruno Mars's was reminiscent of James Brown's performance.
That may actually be before my time.
I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I remember living in America, but I don't know if I'm just remembering the Rocky movie.
Living in America at halftime. See, now if it was that James Brown, I'm not sure if I'm quite as excited. But if we were
It's
talking
like in the
about
70s.
Yeah.
That would have been dope.
yeah,
I'd be like, I'm all for it, yeah. But no, I'm like, to me it was like Prince, Michael Jackson, like 1 and 2 for me. You can put those in either order because.
so who are these people that are saying that this one was even better than those?
Man, a whole lot of people are like, this is the greatest halftime show. I'm like, dude, like, no.
They may have not have seen those.
They might. I don't think they have.
Couldn't have.
No, it was a generational thing.
Yeah, couldn't have.
They,
No
they
way.
were they know who they know who's watching that Super Bowl. They played to that strength. They
Yeah.
gotta make money. It's business.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a true business.
But Prince being behind that white sheet, playing
Yes.
that guitar in the
Yes.
rain, playing Purple Rain, like that was like magic. Like that to me was awesome.
Or
That was awesome.
Michael Jackson being at the top of the stadium in San Diego, and it explodes. He pops up out of the stage in the middle.
Yeah, classic.
I mean, the greatest entertainer of all time. It's like, this is two of the best. I mean, saying nothing.
I mean, Bruno Mars' show was better.
it was dope.
Bruno Mars was better.
When he's running through the maze,
Yeah.
lost.
No, that's the Weekend.
That's the last week.
Yeah, that was the Weekend.
Oh, that's so much
The Weekend was okay. I mean, the
Weekend was a dope show.
Weekend was
That was last
Yeah,
year,
the
right?
Weekend was pretty good.
great.
That was last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, the Weekend
show
was pretty
dope.
good. But I mean, Bruno killed his.
So what made this one so dope?
I guess it was just a combination of all those. You had Eminem, you had Dre,
All your
you
favorite
had
West Coast
Snoop,
rappers.
You had some of the greatest of all time. I mean, I understand it.
Yeah.
the theatrics weren't there.
But it was
No,
weird.
it wasn't.
It's just the stage. To me, all that weird other
so
stuff.
if I
and
didn't get it, I'm sure some other people didn't get
Upside
it.
Down 50 Cent.
I
That was
didn't know
weird.
that
It
those
just
was
odd.
supposed to be a Compton neighborhood. I was just like, why? And the orientation, I'm like, okay, so half the crowd is watching them from the back. The other half, they didn't even play to the whole crowd.
They
It's kind
didn't.
of weird.
Well, plus they were like away from everybody because they were up. So they were 3 stories in the air. It was odd. Like they tried to do too much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They tried to.
Yeah,
do
they
too much.
overproduced it.
Very much so. But you know what?
But like you said, get a stage.
I think the greatest thing, though, about the Super Bowl, my man Omni can pull up these tweets. One of the announcers for ESPN decided to give Eli Apple the business. And granted, Eli Apple, the man's known for like talking a bunch of smack.
That's Eli Apple's mom.
No, that's not his mom.
No, that's not his mom.
That's not his mom. So I'm gonna get mad. That is the
I wish that was
ESPN.
Eli Apple's mom. I'm sorry. Never mind. Pay me no attention.
There you go. Well, the man's a trash talker. He talks a bunch of trash. So as soon as they lost, everybody was giving it to him on Twitter. Like even Lamar Jackson was giving it to Eli Apple on Twitter, right? So, we had this announcement from ESPN kind of come on there. It was like, I had fun coming my first Super Bowl. I wish Eli Apple could do the same, right?
So who is this woman? Okay,
She's an announcer at ESPN.
She's
one of
an ESPN
ESPN's
announcer.
Many announcers. And she was like, I had such an incredible experience, providing coverage for my first Super Bowl, unlike Eli Apple. a little dig like everybody else. But Mama claps back with, I can believe that. But word on the street is you catch a few balls yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, Mom clapped back kind of hard.
Wow.
Wow.
She earned it. I mean,
Yeah.
she asked for it.
Mom with the clap back, like, boom.
I love it.
Wow. So is that Eli Apple's mom sitting at the table?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
That's not really his
That
mom.
was his mom. That was that
This
was,
isn't
that was
his
a
mom
kid.
either.
That was
That's definitely not his mom.
That's
She
not
apparently
Eli
catches a lot of
Apple's mom.
balls.
Okay.
She's very athletic.
Very athletic. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Well, hey.
I know, right? Annie Apple.
Go back to the other lady.
Gotta
again.
love the social media age.
I
What's
know,
her
right?
name?
Annie Agar.
Annie Agar.
Annie Agar. And this is Annie Apple?
Yes.
So
That's
they're both
Eli's-
named Annie.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Telling you, man, Apple's mom came correct. With a good, I'm proud of her, man. Able to use Twitter like that and clap back so hard.
Able to use Twitter like that.
Hey, my mom been lost. She been like, what?
What's a Twitter?
I know, right? Able to come back like, oh, her chest all the
bad.
balls.
Baby, I heard they talked about you on that face space.
Get your mind book together.
When was that? Can you tell when that tweet was sent?
Oh, that was like right after the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, it just moved so fast.
I know, it was like right after the Super Bowl. She clapped on him hard like, no, that's my boy.
Mind you, was this a strategic response? Like, you know how when you're in elementary school or middle school, you know, just to prove your toughness, you would find like the weakest kid in the school to go off on. So if everybody's going off on Eli Apple, why did she decide to go off on her? You know what I'm saying?
What grade school did you go to?
Oh, man, trust me. You want to, prove to everybody that you. Never mind. We'll talk about it after the break.
He's a bully. That's all I say. He picked on the weak kids.
He went to Rikers Island Elementary.
Yeah.
Lord.
We'll talk about it after the break.
Yeah, you come back after the break, man. Let's talk about this U of L basketball team.
Or not.
What's going on? What are they going to do next? We got much more coming up on the Plug Network. I'm Haven Harrington, host of Main Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network online. Stay plugged in.
How y'all doing? Plug Network, it's Theus. Be sure to peep in on the 26th of this month for the listening session of the Love EP. Break down various things about the song, about the music, and where I was at the time. You interested? Fuck with your boy. One love. Shout out to the Plug.
Told you I'm the plug, ho. I'm what it is. Fuck who you think I thought it was.
And welcome back to Main Event Sports Show. Man, what a great last talk we had talking about the greatness that was the Super Bowl. But now it's time to refocus our efforts on the disaster that is the University of Louisville men's basketball team. Now, we could talk about break down the last game they had, which I didn't watch because it came on the What's Matter You network on channel 157.
I actually found it on last night. I didn't know that they were even playing.
Everybody knows they're playing. Like 3,000 people in the arena.
I didn't leave it there, but
Like
I saw
nobody
it.
was there.
I
They were playing Miami,
I only
right?
know because my phone tells me.
Right. They were playing Miami last night.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. Who knows? Doesn't matter. So, we could break down what happened in the game, dissect the plays and the players and what timeout should have been. It doesn't matter. The only real debate left about this basketball team is, will they win another game? They got 5 games left. Will they win another one? I say no.
I mean, for me, I don't know. They could win any game they played.
They could win all the games they played.
Any game they
But
played.
they'll find a way to lose. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Like they find a way to grab their feet out of the jaws of victory.
It's crazy thing in the world. I mean, for me, truthfully,
Jaws of
fellas,
victory.
it's not even about the wins anymore. But
Obviously.
the thing that I'm worried about, man,
It's not about the wins for them either.
like hearing Coach Pegues, because everybody said put the black man in charge. They did. They were 5-1 when he was there. Well, guess
black
what?
people? You hate black people?
The black man was just as
dark
terrible
skins.
as Chris Mack.
You hate black people?
So no, that ain't it. All I'm saying is
That's
this.
what's talking to him.
My issue and what I'm worried about is Coach Pegues came out after. I like that. Coach Pegues came out after the game and basically just threw all the players on the bus and said, "Can't none of these dudes play and they ain't coachable." And my problem with that is that you're basically coming out there and crucifying the kids and talking about these kids can't produce, they can't be coached, they don't want to listen. But I'm like,
They're making it hard for me to get another job when I leave here. That's what he's saying.
and to me, it feels like a teacher that like you have a child that goes to school every day and your kid's stupid, he can't learn.
Well,
Like your job is to
what
get
else
them
would
ready.
you expect from this snake? I said it last week on the show, dude. I don't trust this guy. When Chris Mack left and came back and his team had turned on him, and all of a sudden everybody's pulling for this Pegues guy. What did you tell these guys while I was gone?
That's fair.
That was the first thing. I saw that. Nobody else was asking that question. Like, this is your guy.
For 20
You're my
years.
assistant coach. Apparently 20 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm going for 6 games and I come back. And when I walk in the locker room, everybody stops. So you know how when somebody's been talking about you when you walk in and everybody's just, nobody says anything?
What's up, coach?
Yeah, right.
But I mean, for
He's
that's
been,
true.
he's been planning bad things about Chris Mack in these guys' heads.
Now that things are going bad, he's throwing the kids under the bus.
You're really getting into some deep, dark conspiracies here. But,
I wouldn't call it conspiracy.
but you're not wrong.
So why would
don't
you
think
expect
you're wrong.
anything else from this guy? Is my point.
This team is talented.
Right.
There's some talent on this team. It's just it's unmanaged talent. The synergy's not there. They're running around looking like they're just everything's lazy. They're not getting coached, man. I mean, you're dead right, man.
Chris Mack had himself surrounded with a bunch of weasels. And the guy, what's his name? The one that tried to extort
Dino
him.
Gaudio.
Dino Gaudio.
Yeah.
Been
The
riding
boy.
with Chris Mack for all of these years.
Another 20-year deal.
Yeah, I'm
He's a
gonna
mentor. His mentor.
His
I'm
mentor
gonna
and
need
best
17
friend.
months of pay, right? This is what he said to this guy.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you know what, Chris, you know what I
he
mean?
was in the Goodfellas.
I know somebody has to walk away, and I understand if you're choosing me, I'm going to respect that. I'm going to walk away. You know
You're
what I'm
my
saying?
boy.
You'll catch me on the rebound, I'm sure, somewhere along the line. No. Yeah. Oh, you letting me go? Oh,
Right.
you talking to me? You talking to me? You firing me? Okay, I got something for you.
Yeah.
17 months of pay, buddy. But then Chris Mack, on the other hand, is like speaking to my lapel. You know what I'm saying? It's like
What was that?
all of these dudes were like a bunch of weasels, dude. Like, say that closer, please. And then he leaves for 6 games and comes back. And now Pegues is like the king of the locker room.
I mean, but all these coaches all year long, fellas, all they've been doing is talking about how bad the players are. And my problem is this. For the kids that are going to look to try to go somewhere else to transfer, this follows them. Oh, well, the coach said that you are the temperament. I heard you got thrown out of practices. I heard this. I heard that. To me, that's unprofessional to go out there and throw these kids under the bus because, yeah, you're going to go get another assistant coaching job, but you may affect, that kid's experience here. So my problem is this. They got 5 games left. I don't want any of these kids, because I do think that there's talent, like you said, Chris. I don't want their experience to be so bad that they don't want to be here anymore. Because
Yeah,
I
it
think
might
there's
be
some
too late
guys.
for that.
I think there's some guys that can help. But Rose Wheeler, Sid Curry, L. Ellis, these kids might be like, you know what? I'm just ready to just be somewhere else.
Well, would you blame them? I mean,
No.
It's the Ron Cooper, right? We talked about Ron Cooper the other day. That team was good, but he just sucked as a coach. He was awful, and a lot of kids in the next year were like, we're going to Florida.
Absolutely.
we're gonna go to Florida and play. Screw that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Crackthorpe?
It's I'm
Crap
telling
talk.
you, it's
That's what they call them. I know somebody that played for
I
them.
mean,
They call
that's
them
true.
crap
That's
talk.
what I'm worried about. I don't want
Bobby 2.0?
I don't want these kids to leave because of how bad their experience was, because this can be a great place if you got a coach
Well,
and,
look,
and, and
Well,
the
that's,
right
I mean, that's
coach.
This is
not
what
gonna,
happens-
that's not going to happen though.
Not this
And-
year.
And now you've got to get these kids on damage control. You got to say, hey,
You got some
do
on somebody.
you want to play? Do you want to move forward with? I mean, are you going to NBA? Maybe. You know, where are you going to go to prove that?
Yeah. There's no
It's
better
not
stage
gonna
than
happen.
University of Louisville.
well,
in my
listen,
opinion.
I've said
Get that pain train
1,000 times.
going.
Right, you can attest to the day we were on the former radio station that we were on some years back, and they announced Chris Mack. I said I had never even heard his name before. I was disgusted that they passed over Mark Jackson. I will never walk that back. Louisville is not a mid-major school anymore.
No.
They need to come to grips with that and quit hiring.
What did we say the other day?
Dude,
It's a marquee program.
it's a marquee. They're the most profitable basketball program in the entire country.
Yeah.
By
And
far.
that has been for several years running.
Absolutely.
This is according to Forbes. This is not a local stat. This is according to Forbes. They need to start acting like it.
I agree.
And quit going after these coaches that nobody has ever heard of, except for diehard basketball fans and football fans. They need to start, at the very least, hire people that are going to fill the stands just because of their name. At the very least. Because
Hey.
usually they have that name for a reason. You can say what you want to say about Les Miles. You can say what you want to say about Mike Singletary. But I'd be daggone if you hired them, if that stadium would be empty.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree.
Facts. But the next question is, do you think these guys will win another game?
I don't care. Nobody does.
I'm just curious.
I don't care either.
I think they'll get one.
Yeah.
I think they'll get
Yeah,
one.
they'll get a loser
If they
game
win one,
towards the
they'll
end.
They'll be Clemson. They got Clemson on schedule.
yeah.
Clemson's horrible.
And,
terrible.
and that's going to matter to who?
I know. Well, I want the players to have something. This is all about the players. Like, I could care about the coaches. Like, to me, they need to do, like, what was that, Varsity Blues, when all the kids was like, bump the coach.
Yeah.
We're going to win this for us.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that's
gonna
what I
happen.
want to see happen.
Yeah.
You know what I
Only
mean?
way
Sounds
Louisville's gonna
good.
win the game if they can shoot like 80% from the 3-point line for the whole game.
That's true. And
So-
they can't shoot.
And they can't shoot. So I don't think they're gonna win another game this season. I think all the games gonna play out
Well,
the
what
same.
does the schedule look like? I mean,
It doesn't matter. They're gonna get down by double digits.
Yeah, they-
are gonna find a way to come back, and then the last 3 minutes of the game, they're gonna do the same thing they did to get down by double digits,
Yeah.
and they're gonna lose. That's been the past like 6 games is
Yeah.
that same exact model, right? The same exact thing.
It's true. I mean, it is. It's going to be a tough ask, but hopefully they can get one. They'll be in all the games, and they'll be in it just close enough to give every Louisville fan a heart attack. And that's what they've done all year long.
The fans that do show up.
Just stay close enough to just piss you off.
the five Cardinal fans are still in the building.
I'm not watching.
I mean, only reason I am
stopped
still
watching.
going, and I did not go yesterday because my son had his last basketball.
What?
I did not go because if I have an excuse to why I don't have to go, I make use of it. But the only reason I'm going is to go there and ask Coach Pegues the questions that people need to ask. And why do you suck?
Where are the
so
free
bad?
cookies? That's what he's going to
I know
ask.
You get chocolate chip cookies from that press
cookies?
box.
Can you guys score 100 so we can get a free taco?
Right.
You guys remember those days?
He says, I'm no Jay Wright. It's like, no shit.
Right.
What needs to be Jay Wright?
No,
Which needs to be anybody.
you don't
Jay
say.
Belushi. We don't care
And
who
so
you
it
are.
makes you wonder. But they say birds of a feather flock together, man. They had some real wise guys coaching this
Hey,
team, dude.
so I saw this on Twitter, so I'm going to ask you all, this is an impromptu question.
Oh.
If y'all could have any TV or movie coach to coach Louisville's team right now,
Oh, from
who
a-
would you
like a
have from a
movie or
movie?
TV?
Who would you who
doesn't
would
matter
you
what
have?
sport.
You can have any coach you want. This is
Is it
whatever.
Washington? Remember the Titans?
Remember the
the Titans?
Titans?
Come on, man.
Hell
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Hey, you can get them motivated.
Absolutely.
Denzel Washington.
I will whip
Okay.
your John
And-
Brown. Look, I got that. Look.
And his fucking peanut butter wrapped in velvet.
I swear. So smooth.
So smooth.
Man.
Who would you take, Heyman?
I want you to take that John Brown ball. Listen, Denzel.
Man, that's a good
I
question.
know.
Like,
I saw that on Twitter. I was like,
who would I go after?
any coach, any TV coach ever. Would you want the Hoosiers coach? Would you want Mr. Pickett Fence?
No.
The Hoosiers coach.
No one's a Hoosiers coach. Man, that's losing basketball.
John,
Yeah.
Gene Hackman.
He's like black people. What
He was a racist.
are you gonna, what's he gonna do?
what
Swap
about
about black
man?
people. It's
What
like,
the hell?
what am I here for?
My man, McConaughey from Glory Road.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
And
Okay,
he
Gene
pull up his-
Hackman from The Replacements. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
don't.
Keanu Reeves.
So how about Goldie Hawn
that.
from Wildcat?
Ooh, even better.
I like it.
Well, Whoopi
Was it-
Goldberg
Didn't Rhea Perlman, wasn't she?
She was. She was
coaching,
in
what
some
was that,
basketball NBA thing.
Sunset, was that Sunset Park? Rhea Perlman, Carla from.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Where Perlman is, but I don't know what movie
You
you're
remember
talking about.
Sunset Park?
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, she was like the coach. She was coaching the boys. That's, you know.
You know what? Give me Jim Brown from.
Of course, you're gonna take Jim Brown.
Of course.
Can't remember the movie.
Any given Sunday.
Any name of Fred Williamson.
Any given Sunday. Jim Brown's like the defense coordinator.
That's fair.
You see his guns? Man's like 80 years old, that movie, and his arms like out to here. He's still like, what's White's ass? Like, come on, let's go! He's like so jacked up at 80. Ah!
Hey, I'm telling you, give me Nick Nolte. I thought about it. Blue
yeah.
chips.
Blue chips, yeah.
Blue
Oh,
chips.
yeah.
He has Shaq and Penny. As long as he can bring Shaq and Penny with him when he comes,
don't
give us a
think
couple
Shaq's
superstars,
eligible.
right? But I'll take him. I'll take Mr. Blue Chips. But Patino was in that movie too, so technically he would be a movie coach. So you could take Rick Pitino if
Oh,
you
that's the
wanted.
case.
Yeah,
We knew
it's
he
good.
got game. There were a lot of coaches in there.
Oh, yeah.
Coach
Oh,
K was in
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I take Coach K. That's easy then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, make that easy.
I don't know. Do you really want Coach K?
What's Coach K doing right now?
Did you hear what he did?
Who do you want, right? You
Did
always say, I don't give a
But y'all know
damn.
what Coach K did.
I don't care.
I don't care because it's a commercial break.
Oh man! Oh.
So you know what? So you know what? After the break, tell us what Coach K
Oh my
did.
gosh,
he
Coach
did?
K. Did
After the
wrong.
break, we'll talk about what Coach K. I'm curious what Coach K did. So stick around after the break and stay plugged in. I'm Haven Harrington, host of Main Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.
How y'all doing? Plug Network, Theus. Be sure to peep in on the 26th of this month for the listening session of the Love EP. Break down various things about the song, about the music, and where I was at the time. You interested? Fuck with your boy. One love. Shout out to the plug.
Told you I'm the plug, ho. I'm what it is. Fuck who you think I thought it was.
And welcome back to the Main Event Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rashawn Myers, joined by the greatest minds in sports in the city of Louisville, right here tonight. And as we come back, and as we lightly discussed during the break, because some of the best conversations happen when the camera's not on, I have to give a shout out to Mr. Ratface himself. Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski. I can't spell his last name.
The guy you were so happy to
I
have
was
at
very
the press
happy
conference.
to
He was like,
interview him in his
I
last
get to see
game at Louisville
Coach
because
K.
Coach K is an icon. And anytime you get an opportunity to speak with an icon, especially a dude that is the most winningest coach in the history of college basketball, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge to be able to say that I talked to him his last year. But Coach K, you definitely get the biggest turkey. We used to have the biggest turkey award back in the old days on Main Event Sports when we was on LOU. So the biggest turkey of the week goes to Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski. Tommy Amaker, his former player, current head coach at Harvard University, was a part of the 1986 National Championship runner-up team. That lost to Louisville. Him and Johnny Dawkins were a part of that team. They were both seniors on that team. Tommy Amaker is a guy who had been informed by the staff and management of Duke University that they were going to select him as the coach to take over with Coach K retiring. Well, when Coach K found this out, Coach K waited until after the university had already basically told Amaker he was going to be the man. And Coach K came to Amaker and said, you know what? Yeah,
like a son.
but I love you like a son. Absolutely. I love you like a son. But yeah, that shit's not happening. And has decided that he's going to have Caucasian young man, John Shire, that's going to take over at Duke. And Amaker, who is an African American, is going to be left on the sidelines. And from all accounts and purposes, they said that news to hear that his mentor, a man that had been like a father figure to him, like basically just shot down his dream to his face after he had been told he was given the job, it destroyed him.
Well, I'll say this, as I said during the break, in my opinion, he did that man a favor, because as a black man, I could not imagine doing anything for Duke. I couldn't even imagine playing for Duke. I know Elton Brand spoke out about the racism that he encountered as a player at Duke, and I couldn't even imagine why any black person would want to be the head coach of Duke. I felt the same way about when Charlie Strong went to Texas, when Shaka Smart went to Texas. Like, why would you even want this job? You know, I understand about breaking barriers, but dude, you shouldn't even give them the privilege of your presence. That's how I feel about that. And Duke will probably fail because of this. Dude, these type of things will always come back around to haunt you. You do bad, you get bad. And I hope that Duke doesn't win another game until Adolph Rupp comes back from the grave.
It's rough. Like, he basically just was like, I want you to know I did this to you. That's like some old mafia type stuff.
I know, right?
That's
I
terrible.
stabbed you in the back.
I mean, it's good old boys network. And,
Hey,
let
let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah,
It's rough, man.
So when
It's rough.
they're belly up and they're doing terrible, and now you got somebody to blame, Coach K.
Man, I
love it.
if I was Amaker, I would call right now. We'll be like, you know what? You guys need a coach. I got some experience. I want to kill everything that is in North Carolina. Let's do this. I want to burn the ACC down.
Nah.
I can do it your program. Let's run rough shot.
old-fashioned hate.
I know, right? Let's run rough shot over everybody in the ACC.
Louisville needs Phil Jackson.
You still alive?
Who's my father, by the way, in case I've never mentioned that. My biological father.
He's still
more
alive?
specific. Huh? He's still alive.
Must be
Yeah,
Hubie,
yeah.
my father.
Must be Hubie Brown. He's like the originator of all these coaches. Is he still alive?
Hubie's
Yeah.
still out there. Hubie's a analyst for like the Grizzlies or something. He's still like creaking around.
I got you.
Louisville should hire Phil Jackson as their football coach. Phil Jackson can coach anything. Damn it.
The Zen
What I said,
Master.
he can coach anything.
No. Now we get a new football coach. It has to be Deion Sanders.
I like that a lot.
It has
I'll
to be
take
Deion
prime time all
Sanders.
day.
Dude,
All day.
Deion Sanders
Yeah.
could go 0 and whatever, however many games they play, and the stands will still be full. That's what I'm talking about in terms of the type of coach we need here. People are going to come to the game just to see him.
Swag.
That's what we need.
Swag.
That's what we need. That's the type of coach. We are famous, and we keep dating Z-listers.
Dion played baseball at Slugger Field, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah,
Packed
exactly.
the stands.
Yeah.
I don't care if he doesn't take a swing.
Yeah.
I want to see him.
There were people sitting on the carousel just going around watching the game.
Dude,
take
Louisville
one.
doesn't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it.
So who should be the coach?
Nobody.
Who should be the coach?
Of what? Football or basketball?
Basketball. Louisville.
Mark Jackson.
Basketball, Mark Jackson.
What
without
about
question.
this Kenny Payne stuff that you
Dude,
keep hearing?
bless him. I don't know the man. Didn't even know he was a former player. But nobody wants to see Kenny Payne. You think there are kids running around here saying, I want to go see Kenny Payne? No. They don't even know who he is.
All the old black folks do.
Yeah, they do. And they're usually the ones that don't go to the games. Kenny Payne. He's coming back.
What about you?
I mean, everybody knows me and Will have been on this train for a long time. I would love to see Mark Jackson get an opportunity. That would be a dude that I think would have the experience.
Former NBA coach of the
Former
year.
NBA coach of the year.
He built Golden State.
Haven said that last week too, that he's on the Mark Jackson. When everybody else get on this Mark Jackson train? I'm trying to figure out.
Hey, Mark Jackson has always been a guy that I was very upset that he never got another opportunity after getting blackballed out of the league. He built
But
the Golden
you
State
were
Warriors.
in favor of Mark Jackson coach because if I recall correctly, y'all talked me down off the ledge about talking so bad about
Well, Chris Mack
Mack.
was the favorite. Chris Mack was the
Who's favorite?
The national favorite. Let's just say that he was
No.
he was the national coach of the year. He was the he had just gotten Xavier to a number 1 seed.
Y'all watching
He,
this?
he was a little darling at Xavier. He
Absolutely.
was like the
Hold
guy of the
on.
minute.
Are y'all paying attention to this dynamic that we got here now, where everybody's talking Mark Jackson, when all of a sudden, when I was like the lone wolf crying in the forest,
you were the
in
original.
wilderness, and everybody
You were
like,
the original. I will say you were the original
Yeah.
guy. Was like Mark Jackson. That was you.
Yes,
years
you
ago.
were Mark Jackson first, foremost, and only.
Matter of fact, you wanted to fire Rick Pitino during
And
the
hire
Carol
him.
Powell scandal and get Mark Jackson in.
He did.
And I called everybody some ungrateful bastards for wanting to fire
knew
Tom
exactly what he was
Jurich.
gonna say.
I said it on the air. And I still say it. And now you're asking for him to come back. You're ungrateful bastards. You don't deserve him back.
Tom never should have got fired.
You don't deserve
that's
him
one
back.
thing
Bring
that
him back.
we can all
Bring
agree.
him back.
Why
Deserve
not?
him
They
back.
can't bring him back because
No, everybody don't agree on it because at the time everybody was saying he needs to go. Him and Patino both need to go.
Because
okay.
here's the thing: the things that made Tom great,
That was the sleeper cells, man.
he
That
can't
was,
do
you
it
know,
now, and that's just the facts. The things that made Tom great,
No, because
he can't do it now because
it's already. Well, Tom Jurich wasn't just good for football and basketball. He was good for everything.
He was good for you.
he was
track
good for
and
every,
field.
he was
Swimming
good for
and
every
diving.
sport. But the problem is
Women's
the
volleyball.
way he raised the money, the way he did things. There's no way he could do that now
No.
with the administration. Like the Adidas deal.
Yeah.
It's a great deal. He, it was maybe some inside baseball with his daughter working at Adidas. It was kind of an inside deal where she got the commission and all that
Sure.
other stuff.
There was some mad nepotism going on.
Yeah.
Tom George wouldn't come back.
it's
because
like,
he
you
knew
can
he
do
would
that
be
now.
living
They
on my-
say some people say that Tom wants the job
Tom ain't
again.
coming back.
It's buzzing around.
Tom may want the job, but he would not be as effective this time around because the Adidas deal wouldn't fly. Because the board of directors be like, dude, what are you doing? You can't do that. That's a conflict of interest.
Nah, he wouldn't come
Stop
back.
it.
Though. He'd be living under a microscope.
No, that's number one. Number two, with James Ramsey being president of the University of Louisville Foundation, what got James Ramsey and Tom George in trouble is that they were moving money
James
around.
Ramsey and Tom George was like Stockton and Malone. He's like, James Ramsey like, ooh. Tom was grabbing it, dugging it.
That's what we're doing. It's like, you know what? So the athletic department won't show a deficit this year. Let's put Crackthorpe's buyout underneath the foundation when we buy the silo. Stuff he can't do. And he couldn't do that nowadays. He couldn't move money around. He could not just be like, I'm going to hire this coach with no say-so from anybody.
But hey, like I always say, at this point, because of where University of Louisville is, he doesn't really need to do any of that anymore.
Just move
So,
on.
Chris, who you think should be the
So,
new
but
coach?
okay, but I can't answer that question. But my big point, and I think I made this to you, was who do we get Tom Jurich-esque? Who do we bring in to be a better AD? Because right now it's the university's a mess.
Yeah.
Sports programs are, with the exception of women's basketball and volleyball, it's
Women's
a
sports are
disaster.
fine. Men's sports, not so much.
It's a but the money-making programs that the university has aren't going to make money if this continues.
You know what? You keep Josh Hurd there. Josh Hurd is he's a George disciple.
He studied under Jurich. He studied under Tyree.
So he knows how to keep that momentum, how to start that
Tyree's
momentum
gone.
into the right
Ben
place.
DePuy's gone.
Yeah.
Satterfield still here. They extended his contract.
Man,
interestingly.
Satterfield
Oh,
is the
thank
luckiest
God.
man
And
on
Chris
earth.
Mack is gone.
Satterfield's so lucky because
Yeah,
it
he
was
is.
like all this Chris Mack stuff just took all the heat off of Satterfield. He was like, oh my God.
They only
can
said
skate.
they only want Satterfield because he can recruit because he was at Appalachian State and he brought all these good players. Like, get
Appalachian
out of here!
State.
But we're trash. We are off.
Interestingly,
Right.
I didn't watch a single football game this season. I watched the first one. I was like, oh God.
We'll see. He made a lot of good offseason moves. He brought some guys on Power 5 conferences. He has a great recruiting class coming in for 2023. So, I mean,
Give him time. Okay. All right.
Anyway,
I'm
I
going
just-
to give one season.
At the
Give
end
us
of the
Deion
day,
Sanders.
I feel like, there's a lot of good coaches out there. People think that if Kenny Payne comes, he's going to get all these 5-star players. I don't really know if that's true. I think there's a lot of good coaches that want this job. I like Eric Musselman. I think that he would be a very good coach here, former NBA coach, has a top 5 recruiting class at Arkansas, so he could basically steal all those players and bring them here if he wanted to. So, aren't
they a Nike school?
yes.
So they ain't coming.
I don't know, but everybody
place they come in, Nike
that
coaches.
Louisville's looking at are Nike coaches, basically. Nate Oates,
Musselman,
Nike coach.
yeah, sure.
Kenny Payne worked for Nike.
Wake me up when he
So,
starts winning. I'm not going day one.
I'm not down with a brand new coach. I'm not down with a guy who's never coached before. I don't like that.
I'm not down with somebody who I've never even heard of before. I don't know who Eric Musselman is. I'm not going to watch until they go on a winning streak.
What about
And most players, that's how most
what about the coach from Baylor?
fans going to feel.
Scott Drew.
Yeah.
I mean,
He won a championship last year.
Who?
I mean, it's Scott Drew. It's another Nike school though. This is one of those things.
Because Adidas don't have any good schools. That's the problem.
It's like-
all Adidas schools are trash.
I mean, you know.
UCLA, trash. Notre Dame, trash. They're with us. They're trash like us. I mean, it's like, who wants Bray? He's mediocre, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, Louisville needs to just get it right. I don't care who it is. I don't care what color they are. All
Who'd
I
you
want
get?
them to do is win.
Look, if I was like, here it is. You're
I mean,
in charge.
I'm taking
Hold
Musselman.
the search. Let's go.
I'm taking Musselman.
You're a loser. You take Musselman on Mark Jackson.
If Mark Jackson
That is
would
dangerous.
actually consider it,
he would consider it.
if he would
He's not coaching
consider
for
it and
himself.
he would want to come, then I
He
think
could
that
preach
would be
Southeast Christian
awesome.
every Sunday. We can make that. We can make that happen.
Hey, it's fair. I
It's in
would
his
take
contract.
Okay, quick. We got a minute left. NBA All-Star game. You excited or not?
it. Absolutely not.
Dunk
Like,
contest. Ready to go? You excited about it? No, you're not. What about you?
I'm not. I usually am. I don't even know who's in it.
It's a sad day in sports, man. It's a sad day, main event sports. Man. These two guys.
I don't even know who's in the dunk contest.
I don't. That's what I just said. I have no idea
This
who's in
is
it.
pitiful.
I literally just downloaded the schedule last night.
I can guess on the three-point champion, Steph Curry.
Is he in?
I have no idea, but I'm
would
taking
win.
Steph.
Yeah.
He's probably tired of it by now. He's got to be. How many years do you want to do it?
It's
Right.
the easiest thing to do. And you guys look like the NBA guys, man. That's like your thing.
And I'm getting
I
ready
haven't
for the
watched the
second.
whole game yet to see.
Let me tell you something. I'm just mad because the Utah Jazz once again lost to the hapless Los Angeles Lakers again last night.
lost
They're the
to
only
Lakers?
the
No,
Lakers.
lost.
The only like the Jazz. Every time the Jazz play the Lakers, they lose, and they've
Davis
lost to
got
the
hurt.
Lakers twice this year.
Davis
As-
got hurt.
Is LeBron still
he
playing?
did. Yeah, but his ankle's out for 2 weeks, huh?
Is LeBron still playing?
Oh, LeBron ball. He scored like 15 points in the fourth quarter. Like that, he brought them back. But the Jazz, they did not trade Mike Conley at the trade deadline, and that will come back to haunt them. And that is why they will not make it out of the second round of the playoffs again. Good job, Jazz.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to Main Event Sports Show. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Olympics, but you know what? Who cares? When Olympics, nobody watch that anyway.
No one likes curling.
It was a magical curling shot today, but who cares?
riveting.
Hey, stay tuned. 7 o'clock next week. Plug Network. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Stay plugged in. I'm Avery Harrington, host of Main Event Sports Show. Catch us every Thursday, 7 I'm getting a chance to talk about Sakari. Here on the Plug Network Online. Stay plugged in.
How y'all doing? Plug Network, Theus. Be sure to peep in on the 26th of this month for the listening session of the Love EP. Break down various things about the song, about the music, and where I was at the time. You interested? Fuck with your boy. One love. Shout out to the plug.
Told you I'm the plug, ho. I'm what it is. Fuck who you think.